with you guys. Lots and lots of stuff is happening. So let me just get this off the road here. Some really strange things are happening in the world all around the country. So I don't even know where to begin today. I guess I'll start off with, give me a second as I just get this shared around. I guess I'll start off with some of the things that are happening here in Connecticut. Really just outrageous stuff happening here in Connecticut that I cannot believe is going on. So, give me a second, and I am going to fill you guys in on what's going on. So Facebook is updating its policies. Isn't that fun? So I wonder what that all means, how Facebook is going to, that's not the main crux of the show today, but just thinking about how Facebook has sent, I'm sure you guys have seen that on October 1st, they have the right to take your content, whatever the heck that's going to mean. I'm not 100% sure. Just give me a second as I get this into a few more groups. I think I got it all. So, some really important stuff. So tomorrow, up in Hartford at the Capitol, there is a rally, a protest at the, I'm sorry, not the Capitol. Tomorrow afternoon from 6 to 7:30, there is a protest at the Governor's Mansion in Hartford, Connecticut. That is tomorrow at 6:30. At 6 o'clock, and then that's going to be in Hartford at the Governor's Mansion. I will be there with my new little camera. Look at this little thing. It's so teeny tiny. So come up and say hello. I'm going to hopefully be able to go live with this better little camera, and I want to talk to you. I want to hear what this shutdown and the governor's emergency power extension means for your life and how you feel about what's happening in the state of Connecticut. But I've got some really bizarre news coming in from Hawaii. A very good friend of mine is getting out of Hawaii right now as I speak. Godspeed to you, Dion. May you arrive home safely. He is leaving the state of Hawaii. I want to share this news from Hawaii with you right this moment and then get into some more stuff about Connecticut. So tomorrow, before I do that, tomorrow, Governor's Mansion. Also Thursday morning up at the Capitol. I'm going to be saying this thing again throughout the stream today. So let me just read this to you from the beautiful island of Hawaii. Okay, you can't, this is terrifying. Check this out. Oh, sorry, wrong slide, guys. Wrong slide there too. Where did it go? Here, give me a second. Okay, Hawaii. Rolling out mandatory COVID-19 testing checkpoints on major OHA highway with mandatory vaccines and quarantine camps soon to follow. Let's get into this. The news network goes on to explain a bizarre requirement that people who have been tested are not allowed to exit the freeway until they reach the very end. Once individuals have been tested, they will be required to continue on to either at the end of the road, H3, before using an alternative Kailua routes if necessary. Okay, let me just get into this here. The Hawaii is taking a major highway. OHA, Hawaii. Go look it up yourself. They started it today. Hawaii is forcing people that are on this road to take a COVID test. Do you understand that? A COVID test in Hawaii, they're shutting the roads down. I have a friend that has told me personally that Hawaii, the most beautiful place on earth, right? Gorgeous beaches. Everybody's in a mask. If you're without a mask, you think it's bad here, it's worse in Hawaii. They do military exercises for COVID in Hawaii, okay? I have a friend, I'm going to do another live, and I'm going to talk about Australia. I don't have any slides to show you of Australia right now, but let me tell you, Australia is in a serious lockdown. And this is happening right now in Hawaii. Hawaii rolling out mandatory COVID-19 testing checkpoints. What the hell is going on? This is terrifying. And I gotta say, one of the more terrifying aspects of this is the apathy of people. because here in this country, I want to let you guys know, if you haven't heard, and if you heard it on the mainstream, it's totally distorted, but the reports coming in from independent sources about Germany and England had massive protests against these lockdowns, okay? Because this is a global thing. The United States, we're in a mess and the people aren't rising. We have to rise up. Of course, we've got a mess going on with riots and all kinds of terrible things, but we absolutely have to rise up. Germany had millions, okay? Millions of people in the streets in Germany. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. gave a spectacular speech. If you're not familiar with the Children's Health Defense, please go visit the Children's Health Defense. I think it's childrenshealthdefense.org. It could be .com. Not sure of that off the top of my head, but Robert F. Kennedy Jr. gave an epic speech in Germany as millions of people gathered to protest masking, contact tracing, mandatory vaccinations, and continuous lockdowns. And Hawaii is already entering into the second phase. And I'll pull this slide up for you again. They're already entering into the second phase. I have friends that are out there that are on their way home. You know, they're closing down the highway. You aren't going to be able to just go on that highway without having to deal with a mandatory checkpoint for you to be able to continue moving on. I'm not quite 100% sure what they do with you if you test positive, okay? All I know is that a good friend of mine is leaving that beautiful place because it's just over the top. Okay, it's over the top. What is going on? We have got to sit down and have a decent conversation with each other. No, forget it. We don't even have time for that. You need to go meet at the Capitol here in Connecticut to protest this. I'm talking about Hawaii right now, but this is like a global thing that's actually happening. I'm just absolutely stunned how this is happening. And in Massachusetts, they've mandated the flu shot. Virginia is talking about mandating the flu shot. Let me pull this slide up for you. This is Senator Anwar. He sits on the Public Health Committee. This guy right here, he sits on the Public Health Committee. He would love to mandate that you take the flu vaccine, okay? He would love that. Look at him. Do you think he's getting a flu shot, or do you think he's just doing that for stage? And why are these politicians taking pictures of themselves getting a flu vaccine? What the hell is that? What is that? I don't understand what that is. When politicians are getting their picture for a flu vaccine, do you see the propaganda? That doesn't even make sense. It's irresponsible. Not everybody can take the flu vaccine. This is a serious medical procedure, okay, with serious side effects. It is no joke. Guillain-Barré syndrome is a real serious problem. That's where you lose the ability to walk, okay? Guillain-Barré syndrome from the flu vaccine. The flu vaccine is one of the most injurious vaccines out there. If you go and you look up VAERS, it's called the Vaccine Adverse Events Reporting System, okay, where you can find out what vaccines cause the most damage. I'm going to tell you the flu vaccine is it. States are starting to mandate the flu vaccine. If Governor Lamont's powers are extended, these emergency order powers are extended, there's a lot more that he can do to us in the state of Connecticut, including mandating the flu vaccine for everybody, okay? Not just school kids, for everybody. What do you think this is telling you? Oops, sorry about that, wrong picture. What do you think this picture is telling you? What do you think the message that Senator Anwar, who, by the way, is not being challenged? What the hell? What the hell? Why isn't there a challenger for Senator Anwar? Do you know what that means if he doesn't have a challenger? Somebody on the independent ticket needs to run against this guy, okay? You've got thousands of people in Connecticut that would be willing to help you campaign. It's late in the game, but who knows? Nobody is running against this guy. Nobody that I know of, last I checked, nobody was running against him. This senator right here, what's he doing? He's getting his flu shot. He's signaling. He's virtue signaling to you. He's virtue signaling to you to get your flu shot. They are preparing us for Twindemic. Have you heard what's coming out of California with Twindemic with Governor Newsom? So he's talking about the flu. They haven't mandated the flu shot in California that I know of yet. But Governor Newsom is now calling it a twindemic. Okay, a twindemic. You can't make this stuff up. So let me just get some other important announcements here for you as I look it up. So there's another, let me see, did I put that slide in here? I thought that I had. Let me click on that. Nope, that's still Hawaii. So there's Hawaii for you. Let me tell you, I guess I didn't put that slide in there. On Thursday morning up at the Capitol, there is another rally, and that's early in the morning, not early, but it starts at 10. And so that's Thursday in Hartford. There is a rally to protest the governor's extension of executive powers. I got to stress to you the importance of coming. Please come. Your presence is very much needed. We need to start showing up in massive force. It has to happen, or we are going to end up in a state of medical tyranny. I can't even imagine. I can't even believe this, guys. This is just, to me, one of the most intense and bizarre periods in my lifetime. I never thought that I would live to actually see this type of medical fascism taking over, where they want to mandatory test you. They're doing this in Hawaii right now. Today it started. I have a friend flying out of there, coming back to the mainland in the United States to get away, leaving Hawaii. Could you imagine wanting to leave Hawaii, the most beautiful place on earth? Well, I mean, it's not hard to imagine when this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. They've shut the state of Hawaii down. It's shut down. They are in their second wave. Be ready, okay? This is happening all over. And if you're not familiar with what's going on in Australia, I have a friend out there, and I'm praying for you guys in Australia. I wish she could come on live with me, but she's worried to do that. And I don't blame her. She's worried that there could be repercussions against her. I'm going to do a whole show on that, but they're threatening arrest, or they have arrested one of the leaders out there organizing a massive protest in Australia. This is a global thing. This is happening all over. I mean, we could see it everywhere. So it's got to tell you something. This is not about a virus, guys. This is not about, it's called the Great Reset. It's called the Great Reset. And what this is technocracy. You know China? You know that place, China? Okay, well, China's got a surveillance system that would make your head spin, where there's facial recognition, which they're starting to install in Hawaii, which you want to install everywhere. That's what 5G is all about. 5G enables them to do the most massive spying and looking into your life. I mean, this sounds like science fiction. It really does. I wish it was science fiction. Go research it for yourself. Question everything. I'm just passing along the information that I'm getting, and I'm passing it off to you. You need to go look more into this information. A great resource to go check out is Technocracy News. Patrick Wood, excellent, absolutely excellent publication. Technocracy News, where you can learn a lot about what the technocrats are. If you haven't heard of the Lockstep, the Rockefeller Foundation had written 10 years ago, I suggest you go and you download that PDF and you take a gander at it and see what that's all about, because this stuff is really, really eerie. And I sit down sometimes and I think to myself, what are we going to do? Did your kids start school today? Mine did. Mine are in high school. So I asked my son, how was it? He's like, Mom, it was awful. It was like, he's like, it was so weird. We had to sit 6 feet apart. They cut the lunch down. So he told me, because he doesn't like to make his lunch, and it's hard. He likes to get his lunch at school. He's used to being able to go there. He's a teenage boy, and he wants to eat. He's like, they give you one sandwich and some chickpeas, and then you got a few minutes to eat it. Everybody's got to wear a mask. So the poor kid comes home. He's got all these masks coming out of his pocket. I would have him homeschool, but he's 15 years old, and I want to teach my children to make their own educated decisions. I told him the minute he wants to step out of that school, it is okay with me. I'm totally okay with it. He's an athlete. He loves to play sports. Can you imagine this? Can you imagine your high school years like this, being in this weird situation where everybody's all masked up? I read from another mom who posted that her child asked for a air break. What? An air break? A breathing break? You mean you got to ask permission now to breathe the air? The poor child had to stand in the corner facing the wall to breathe. This is where we're at, COVID-19. And if I say that, I'll probably get flagged. Facebook's probably going to cut off my ability to live stream. Who knows? They're coming up with new policy changes and whatnot. It's getting so bad out there. And one of the things that's really starting to be apparent is the fact that people are getting more and more aggressive about masking. I'm running it. Before I had no problems. And I just want to do a shout out to all the clerks, all the people in the store. So far, there's only one lady who was really rude to me. And then the kid, she yelled at a teenager to go help that lady because I came in without a mask. And I was like, I don't have a note. I need to pick up my stuff. I come in here all the time. I don't know why you're giving me a hard time today. So, and the teenager was a sweetheart and helped me get my stuff, and I paid and I got out of there. But most of the people that I've dealt with, and I call stores, I talk to the stores, like, I don't wear a mask. I don't want any problems. I'm not looking for problems. I cannot safely wear a mask. And all the people that work in the grocery shops or wherever it is that I'm going are extremely accommodating. There was only one person who was not accommodating. You know who the problem is? I'm going to show you who the problem is. Here's a little video that I'd like to share with you guys. This was my recent experience. This is the kind of thing, I started filming him. He was going on for a while. This is the calm part of it. But I just pulled out my camera and started filming him, hoping he would stop because I'm obviously filming him. But I'd like to take a look.
I'll answer for you. I forgot my mask today.
Then you shouldn't be here. People are sick here. That's why we come.
I'm not sick.
You're making me sick. You are making me sick. And so are you. Why are you not wearing a mask? Oh, geez.
I'll pray for you.
Pray for you. You're a spreader.
Can you believe that? Can you believe that? So I got to thank my mom for coming up with that. But, you know, so we were talking on the phone about how to deal with the people with the masks on who are very aggressive. So I made the sign of the cross. Just something I do. You know, my grandma taught me that. Okay, I'm an Italian. I grew up in New York. We made the sign of the cross, okay? So I made the sign of the cross, and I said, I'll pray for you. You know what? I'm praying for people to wake up to the problem that we are facing in this country today, where strangers feel that it is their right and duty to come up to you and start I mean, this guy was going on for a while, and he continued. That was just a snippet. And then I had somebody arguing with me, telling me I'm a provocateur, and how dare I'm harassing this poor old man, filming him. Well, you know what? I wouldn't have bothered to film that man if he had left me alone. So here's a challenge, guys. We all have these phones in our pockets. If somebody starts harassing you, start filming them. You don't have to upload it to social media. Maybe it'll make them go away, but maybe filming it so more and more people can see what it looks like on the other end to have somebody, I'm a spreader, I'm not sick. Anthony Fauci said it himself. He said it himself that asymptomatic people, it's very rare with his voice. It's very rare that an asymptomatic person could spread anything. Rare? They have a study with 400 people and nobody got sick. They're asymptomatic carriers. You know what an asymptomatic carrier is? It's healthy people. Pre-symptomatic means that before you get symptoms, but then you get sick, that's pre-symptomatic. But they're just calling asymptomatic to people, whoever, anywhere, it doesn't matter. They may never get sick. What does it even mean? What does it even mean to be asymptomatic? Where did these words all of a sudden come from? Where did all of a sudden it start to come to be that these folks here, right, that they're now potential risks, so you have to wear a mask, and in this whole thing, I wear my mask for love, I wear it to protect you. That's propaganda. I get people want to help each other. I think that's a noble, beautiful act, but that's propaganda. Okay, that's a way to shame you, to drag you in, that you're selfish because you're not wearing a mask. What's the big deal? It's just a piece of cloth over your face. You're so selfish. No, my child has to go to school wearing that stupid cloth all over his face. I can't wear a mask safely. I have many reasons not to wear a mask safely, including surviving a violent assault, okay? So you know, you have to think that there are more people than just you. So for you, it might be just a mask and it's no big deal. Then wear your mask. I don't care. I would never harass anybody with a mask. I wouldn't film somebody in a mask and just pick on him. I filmed that gentleman because he was harassing me and really stressing me out. And I just leave me alone. I was far away from, there was another woman in there too. She didn't have a mask on. He was picking on her, but he kept looking, and I just looked at him, and I don't know what to say sometimes to these people. Like, you know, who are you? I'm in here. It's really not your business. I can't safely wear a mask. I don't have to explain myself to you. Am I supposed to go running around with my medical papers in my pocketbook? Or maybe I should wear like a star that I can't wear a mask. I mean, do you see where it's going here? Oh, it's just a mask. You got to keep everyone safe. The virus. Another interesting thing that came out of the CDC this week, about 6% of the deaths are just COVID, right? So the ways, and then the fact checkers are probably going to ban my video. So the way that it works is the CDC said this, and then the other percentages, like 2 to 3% were comorbidities, and it was listing all the different comorbidities, which you could go look at. And the fact checkers are saying people don't understand what comorbidity is. Like, you're too stupid to figure out stuff, right? So dying with COVID is not dying of COVID, okay? So I'm more interested in the 6% of healthy people who died of COVID than I am with people with comorbidities, because people with comorbidities, diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's, all kinds of, you know how unhealthy our country is as a general rule? Our country, 50% of the adult population is chronically ill. Okay, so what is alarming to me is that our health is so declined that instead of putting masks on people, spraying chemical sanitizers everywhere, putting chemicals on your hand, why not teach people how to eat right, how to exercise, how to take care of your body? Now, it's been stated that you can't boost your immune system. Well, that's baloney. Yes, you can. If you take good care of your health, and you eat the right foods, you get sunshine, you get plenty of water, you find ways to de-stress yourselves, you let go of negativity, and you breathe the air deeply into your lungs, right? You're going to survive COVID. You're going to be okay with COVID. You're not going to die from COVID. So when the CDC says stuff about comorbidities and the average person doesn't get it, you know, they think we're stupid. They talk to us like we're stupid, and we're not stupid. We're able to think. And one of the things I'd like to leave you thinking about is to question everything. Question everything. I'm not telling you that I have all of the answers or anything like that. I'm sharing information with you. You need to make up your own mind. You need to figure that out. What I am going to say to you is, please, if you're in Connecticut, please come to the governor's mansion tomorrow from 6 to 7:30. Come say hi to me. I'm going to have a camera and a microphone. I'd love to talk to you. Sharing our stories of what this lockdown is doing and how we feel about it is extremely important. We need to start showing up. I'm talking to all my silent friends that are out there listening. So I totally agree, but I just don't want to get out there, or I'm worried about cancel culture, which is a very real thing. I've had people unfriend me, block me, insult me, people I know personally who have threatened me. I had somebody drive by my house, an acquaintance who knew where I lived, and started beeping his horn and yelling and screaming. You have no right to do that. You can disagree with me. You don't have to like me. You're entitled to that. But you don't got any right to come over to my house. You don't got any right to harass me. So I get the fact that people are worried. They're worried about the cancel culture. And that's really unfortunate. But you know something? You got to come out of your comfort zone, please. So the governor's mansion tomorrow. And then on Thursday morning, I'll be at that one too. On Thursday morning at 10 o'clock on the north steps of the Capitol in Hartford. Please come out to that. That is organized by legislatures. So we need to go out there in force to the Capitol on the north steps. Bring your children. Take them out of school for the day. This is what being a citizen is all about. It matters that you come and that you show up. You have to show up. They are not going to listen if people don't start showing up. And the other thing that you can do, God, I wish I had a slide for that for you guys. You can call your representatives, call your senators in Connecticut, call them, Call them every day. Write them emails, whoever your senator is and your representative. The Public Health Committee, gosh, where did I put that? Hold on a second, guys, while I grab this up in my notes. I don't want to read all these phone numbers to you because that's not going to really help. I wish that I could, you know what? I could post that. I'm going to post that in the comments. So I got this all right here. I'm going to see if I can post this. You want to reach out to Senator Looney, Senator Duff. I think it's Senator Looney. He could be Representative Looney. You know, Looney has been serving for like ever. So then we got Bob Duff. So here, I'll just read out the phone numbers and I'm also going to post this. So Looney is 203-468-8829. Senator Looney, 203-468-8829. Senator Bob Duff. Oh boy. You know, we got a great candidate running in that district, Ellie Casitas. She's running. If you're in the district with Senator Duff, vote for her. So you could call Duff, 860-240-0414. Jonathan Steinberg, I believe he is the chair of the Public Health Committee. He's a representative. Call him as well, 860-240-0562. Now, here's a friendly person. You want to call her and thank her. This is Heather Somers. She's also on the Public Health Committee. She does not want to extend Governor Lamont's powers, okay? You want to call her up and tell her thank you. You want to tell her to definitely vote no, to stay strong. Somers, 800-842-1421. I'm going to see if I could post that into the comments here for you guys. So bear with me. I'm going to do that right now. I might like backtrack and talk on me as I open up the live on my phone. You're probably going to hear it talking. See? It's like double whammy. So here we go. I posted that into the comments for you guys. That's just a handful of them. There's more. I should have put together a better list for you guys. So I wanted to show you another important slide. Check this out. This is from Michigan. Okay, so I friended a couple of PPE experts in Michigan. I just want you guys to look at this real quick. So the school learns about a COVID. Then the health department learns about a COVID, and then the school needs to notify the parents and the staff, and then the school and the health department together to identify close contacts. Then the health department interviews the case and determines the isolation period and any non-school contacts. The health department notifies the close contacts and requires a 14-day quarantine. Okay. Like, this is crazy. And then it says close contact days, not develop symptoms, complete quarantine period, and return to school. Close contact becomes symptomatic, test positive for COVID-19 is now a cause. I mean, like, this is nuts. This is Michigan, okay? So I met, and I'm hoping I'm going to get these wonderful ladies on my show. I never even knew this existed, okay? But I saw these two women. They did a video, and I was able to friend them. And they're in Michigan. They're really strong freedom fighters, but they're experts in PPE. I didn't even know there was such a thing as experts in PPE, but there are experts in PPE, and they did an excellent video. And I'm going to work on getting either to play that video for you guys or to get them live with me and do an interview to talk about it. But these were the experts on PPE. These two ladies go into hospitals and doctors' offices and teach them how to use PPE. They said it's absolutely nonsensical that the average citizen is being mandated to wear masks. It does not work. It actually can be harmful to your health. There are no randomized control studies that show any statistical difference between wearing a mask and not wearing a mask. Basically meaning there's no proof that masks stop viruses scientifically. They have data analysis, meta-analysis, pundits, all that kind of stuff, but they don't have science. You know what I find interesting? Yesterday I was driving and I like, you know, you see all these signs around and there was one that was saying love. And I was like, yeah, well, love is good. Kindness. Yeah, kindness is good. I believe in science. I'm like, okay, so what does that statement mean? I believe in science. This is a thing. And as a medical freedom fighter, I've been a medical freedom fighter for years, okay? Fighting for my ability to say no to pharmaceutical products of any kind. Drugs, contact tracing, masks, vaccines, all that. I want informed consent. That means that I'm informed and then I give my consent. I'm informed. I read that's what I do. I read about all this stuff all the time. From microbiologists, epidemiologists, from the NIH, from PubMed, reading various different people in the field of science and epidemiology, viruses, and microbiology. Yes, you can read that stuff and you can have an opinion. You can formulate an opinion, an educated opinion about things. And it's my right over my body, my choice. Is that only for abortion? That's wrong. That's hypocritical. Okay, that's just completely wrong. What you do with your doctor and your body is your business. It's nobody's business. It's none. Nobody's business. I don't have to agree with it. I don't have to agree with what you're going to do to your body. It's not my freaking business. Just like it's not somebody's business if you're out in public and you're not wearing a mask. Okay, it's nobody's business. And I'm going to close this out. I just want to show you one last. I can't get over this. Okay, so this is a true story. So the governor of Maine, Janet Mills, shout out to Maine. I got peeps in Maine that I've been communicating with. Shout out to Maine. Most of the area of Maine, the sheriffs are saying they're not complying with her stuff, okay? They're just not. But anyway, she wrote, this is a true story. The photo I'm going to show you isn't an actual photo of somebody wearing it, but she wants people in a restaurant to wear stuff like this. Check this out. Check that out. Check it out. The cone of shame, guys. This is no joke. This is COVID 1984. That's what this is. Okay, the cone of shame. So that's a Photoshop picture, but it is true. You could go look up on the main website, and she said the front of the staff people need to, instead of wearing their face shield over their face, they need to wear it on their neck. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, I feel like I woke up in the Twilight Zone, that this is a bad science fiction movie, and that somebody is going to come in like, say, wake up, like, I'm very concerned for the welfare of our children. I am so concerned. I'm glad my children are a little bit older. If my children were younger, they wouldn't be in that school. And I feel for parents who need to work and need to put their kids in school. This is a terrible place to be. There is a mom crying today. This is not okay. There's a bunch of moms talking today about this. Another mom said that the preschool that she's sending her child to is now requiring the preschoolers to wear masks. This has gone over the top. Okay, this has gone over the top. We have got to, as a people, rise up now in force. We need to start to show up. You need to get active. You know something? In Connecticut, every 2 years, they re-vote the senators and the representatives in. Every 4 years for our governor. Okay, so we've got another 2 years to survive Lamont. Think about it. If he gets this executive powers, it's totally crossing each other out. If he gets these executive powers, which leaves the legislature out, if he gets to retain these executive powers, he can mandate the flu shot. And let me tell you something. Let me take you back over here. Let me show you Senator Anwar. Yeah, here's your man. Here's your man. We know him well. People into medical freedom know this guy well. We know him very, very well. Okay, this is Senator Anwar. What's he doing? He's virtue signaling to you that he's getting a flu shot because he cares about your health. Yeah, right. He really cares about your health. That's okay. You could get a flu shot, but that's for you. That had nothing to do with me. You can do what you want. You want to take a picture of it and post it on social media. Do all that you want to do. But when you're a senator, you got a political reason behind that. You're not just somebody saying, look, I went to the doctor and got my flu shot. The flu shot doesn't even work. It's like on a good year, it's maybe on a good year 50% effective. We've had the flu vaccine for how many years now? The flu, according to the World Health Organization, kills between 650,000 to 250,000 depending on the flu year. Okay, a year, worldwide. And in Connecticut, it's like 20,000 or something like that, the flu, a year. Okay, so you gotta be, this is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Instead of teaching people how to be healthy, how to wash their hands, and you know what? stay home when you're sick. I would argue with my kids. They'd want to go to school. They would be afraid not to go to school. They'd be home for a couple days sick and they still weren't quite over it. And I'd be like, guys, don't go back to school right now. Please don't go. You don't need to go. This is before all the COVID stuff. You know, I'm like, it really is good to rest your body, stay home. Plus, you don't want to be spreading your cold germs all over the school. Oh my God, Mom, I got to go. I'm going to fall all behind in my work. I can't. And the kids would go to school because there was no breather. In fact, in Connecticut, if your kid is out for 9 days for a virus, which happens with especially young children where they could take a while for a virus to fully run its course, I definitely have experienced that. And you need a doctor's note to go back. Well, I've had kids be sick for 10 days and never went to a doctor. They had a virus. It ran its course. I took care of them. They didn't need a doctor. So now the school is telling you need a doctor's note. I wonder how that works now with COVID. Obviously, that's canceled out. But the point I'm trying to make is we've built a society where people can't even take sick days off without fear of losing their job. For my kids, it was fear of being in trouble at school. Then one time, I was in the cafeteria up in Hartford at the Capitol, and the poor girl, I was so upset. She sneezed on me, okay? Like, she didn't mean to do it, but she sneezed on me. I was like, I went home that night. I doubled up on vitamin C. I mean, she literally sneezed, like, just right on me. She just, stay home when you're sick. It's basic stuff, right? So she said, oh, I got a little cold, and and now here we are today. I didn't get sick. Colloidal silver is a wonderful thing. So is vitamin C and vitamin D3. I came home, drank a lot of fluids, got to bed early, just like washed my hands when I got home. Was dosing up with colloidal silver, extra C. Took some what's that stuff called? That elderberry stuff. Because she sneezed on me. I was like, okay, I've been definitely exposed to whatever viral count this woman just sneezed on me. And the moral of the story is we've become a society before COVID where you couldn't take sick days. People literally would be working sick. Teachers would be working sick. Restaurant staffers working sick. Everybody working sick. So I think we should slow down as a society, allow people to recuperate, to get their health back, and to be a more balanced, holistic society, not one that's in fear, that is actually doing detrimental things for their health. And that's enough for now. I don't want to keep going on. Tomorrow at the governor's mansion from 6 to 7:30. That's in Hartford, the Governor Lamont's mansion. Thursday, 10 a.m., the north steps of the Capitol. Arrive early. Good idea to arrive early so you can park. You will have to pay to park. Avoid the public municipal parking lot if you can, and just walk a little bit. It's still nice weather out. You can park around the city. It's very beautiful, Hartford. In the daytime, it's nice. And you can just park and you can walk up to the Capitol and you arrive early. But if you park in the public parking lot, be prepared to get a huge parking bill for a couple of hours. Just like, it was like $10 to park for 2 hours. So I think this is Manhattan or something. So guys, please do everything you can. Spread the word. We the people. This is just not right. Don't be afraid. If you're going to lose a friend for a little while, if they're really your friend and they get mad at you and they step away and they're like, oh, I can't take it. A real friend is never going to leave you, okay? If you're worried about your job or whatnot, hey, I get that because people have been harassed at their job for speaking out against COVID. I'm not sure what kind of advice to give to you, other than we really need you to be up there. We need everybody to be up there. Do the best that you can. If you can't be there because you're worried somebody's going to harass you at your job and you need your income, I totally get that. Maybe there's other actions that you can take. Write a letter to the editor. Call your representatives and your senators. Do everything possible that you can. Connect with people. And it's really going to take all of us together. We, the people, now is the time for our citizens to unite, to get together. And just remember this too. The early revolutionaries were not afraid of the British, okay? The British were the strongest army in the world at the time. And we stood up to them. Okay, imagine if people were too afraid and said, we can't do that. We're just going to give up. The British are too strong. We'll never, ever be independent. We'll never be a free nation. It's just never going to happen. We can't beat them. They have fleets. They have armies. They have everything. We're outnumbered. We beat them. We need to beat the technocrats because this is technocracy. It's global. Technocracy, technocrats. Check out Patrick Wood's Technocracy News. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Come and say hello to me. I'll be the lady with the microphone. I'd love to talk to you, share your story, because it's our stories that change this around. Because your friends will come back around if they're your real friends. Because the way the truth is, first it's rejected. First you're rejected, you're ridiculed. Then you're laughed at. And then it's embraced. Stay strong. Stay strong. We the people. I'll see you guys tomorrow.